Hey people, this is BIGBMH's take on the Batman franchise. In this video series that ties into my series of articles on comicbookmovie.com, I'm going to take a look at the Batman movie series and talk about where I think it should go from here. Now, the Batman movie franchise really hasn't had much trouble lately. Chris Nolan did a great job with Batman Begins, and when it came out, it was pretty much the best Batman movie yet. Then The Dark Knight came along and set the bar even higher. However, as great as these movies have been, they're still not immune to failure. It's not uncommon for a movie franchise, especially a superhero movie franchise, to have a good first movie, get better with the sequel, and then have a third movie that falls short of expectations. Now, this series has been so good, it'd be a real shame to see it end on a low note. So I'm going to talk about where I think the series should go to give it a fitting end. One of the best things about The Dark Knight was Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker. Some people would even go as far as to say that his performance made the entire movie. While I definitely think there's a lot more going for the movie than just his performance, it's definitely unforgettable, and the movie wouldn't have been the same without him. The makers of The Dark Knight were smart enough not to kill off the Joker at the end of the movie. They've even read that Chris Nolan planned on having the Joker come back for the third movie and continue to play a large role. Unfortunately, the untimely death of Heath Ledger really changed everything. So the big question now is, do you recast or not? I can really see both sides of the argument. On the recast side, you've got the idea that the character is bigger than the actor who plays him. The Joker has been played by Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, and now Heath Ledger, so eventually he will be played by someone else. Also, there's the fact that Katie Holmes was replaced as Rachel Dawes by Maggie Gyllenhaal in The Dark Knight. So, the movies have already done it once, and replacing Heath could be similar to that. On the other side, there's a sensitivity thing about this whole thing, because Heath died. He didn't just walk away from the role, so replacing him could be seen as insensitive and disrespectful to his memory. Now, I think that the movie makers might feel this way since they actually knew him and had a personal relationship with him while making The Dark Knight. Although this is a really tough decision, I think I'd have to go with the recast side. Because of his work on Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, I have a lot of faith in Chris Nolan's vision for Batman, and in that vision, the Joker is in the third movie. So I feel that if he changes that because of what has happened, the third movie might not be as good as what it originally would have been. Also, I feel that this could be a great way to pay tribute to Heath Ledger, because this Joker was very much his creation, so for it to live on after him would be a great way of honoring his work. Before Heath Ledger was chosen, Johnny Depp was my top pick to play the Joker. If you combine his sly, eccentric Jack Sparrow with his really out there take on Willy Wonka, then you've got something that's pretty similar to the Joker. And if you check out some of these mock-up pictures, you can see that he looks pretty good in the role. My top choice for the Joker now would be Joseph Gordon-Levitt for several reasons. I've seen the resemblance between him and Heath Ledger pointed out in several pictures, and if you look at some of these, it's actually pretty evident. He also has that skinny body type that's perfect for the Joker. If you combine all this with the fact that he's a very talented actor in his own right, then you've got the perfect replacement Joker. The Dark Knight was both a big critical and box office success, so naturally people are wanting more and wondering how can they possibly top this. Honestly, I'm not sure if they can top The Dark Knight without the Joker. The Joker isn't just Batman's arch nemesis, he's one of the greatest villains of all time. And Heath Ledger did an amazing job. So even if they were able to find someone equally suited to one of Batman's other villains as Heath was to the Joker, it still probably wouldn't be as good because it's a lesser villain. However, I don't think that it still can't be a great movie. I just think the attitude that they need to take when approaching this movie is to make it a great part of the overall series, and not just try to make some big movie in an effort to top The Dark Knight. Just try to live up to the standards set by the first two movies. I really don't think there's anything wrong with having The Dark Knight be like The Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy, and having the third movie be like The Return of the Jedi. Well, I guess that's it for part 1. Please read my article. I posted a link, and keep an eye out for part 2, where I'm going to get into more story details. Thanks.